What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology, the Titans action, spawning in the bottom of the map in the blue color, playing as Poseidon. His name is Yoshii. His opponent today in the red color, playing as Gaia. His name is Kvoth. Yeah, it's kind of got a bit of a mini series going on here. Seems to have been somewhat of a... It's pretty close. Yoshi's lost one. Kvoth's lost one or two. I don't know. Bit of a series going on right now. And if you guys don't know what the map is by now, I will tell it to you again. But just remember that there's not a lot of interesting ways to say this. This is competitive mega random, which means every map is different in whatever way it is different. Okay? Great. Good stuff. And we're already seeing the nature of this map unfolding. And that is the cliffs on the outsides of the map making a very, very small map even smaller. Which is very exciting. It makes it very much more aggressive. And this kind of variant here isn't something that we really see very often in the standard maps, or even in any of the standard maps, actually. The more narrow maps, the smaller amount of space is not something that's really been experimented with in the map designing community at all. So it's very exciting to see this on this map to see if people enjoy this sort of a map or not. As Yoshii now moving in with yet another god here, choosing Poseidon. Poseidon, a very, very strong god in this matchup. Gaia, very good against Poseidon, I'd say. Of all of the kind of strongest gods in the game, definitely Gaia feels... Gaia feels like she's having a really good time against Poseidon, of all the gods. So Poseidon, whereas Poseidon feels like he's having a good time against every god. So I mean, except for maybe the Atlanteans. So Guy's gonna have some time here, and we'll see how it's gonna go. Decent hunt on this map thus far. We've got some cool little cliff spawns here as well in the middle of the map. The trees all spawning nicely around here to cause to create some nice places at which players can wall this off. We've even got a cheeky tornado here that's going to be winding up there at the 2-minute 50-second mark. Relics over here. We do have the system of Bast, the 5 food less on your villagers, or minus 10% food on your villagers. And we've also got the Nose of the Sphinx, an extra 15% building hit points, because that's going to be very, very happy with that one. As you do see the citizens moving over here to start eating the gazelle, and Ares coming through for Yoshii. I've tried Ares against Gaia once or twice myself and had no success. This Ares here for Yoshii might not be that type of Ares, though. He might be thinking about going for, whoop, tornado, hello? He's just here just saying, well, I'm here to just be a little bit interesting. But Yoshii seems to be looking like he's going for a far second town center here with this many villagers on gold. Though he could be thinking about taking the villagers off of wood after. So he could go Theseus, Hippolyta, double stable, take the villagers off of wood onto food, or stable barracks off of wood onto food, and make it work that way. Could be his idea, but we will see. Channels coming through now for Kvoth immediately, as the Cyclops are going to be coming through as well. Got the Katoskopod's going to be scouting around still. It's actually, even with the map being slightly narrowed, it seems like a fairly big map nonetheless. A far way for these guys to move nonetheless, as we do see the villagers making their way over onto this location. We've got the spider eggs getting dropped down, immediate counter barracks coming through here for Kvoth, and military barracks relatively well placed. However, a pestilence right in the middle of this town center will hit both of them, as we do see the Katoskopos has been greeted by the Oracle hero and will indeed run directly over the spider lair there, getting pulled in, as Cyclops going to bash as much as it can this hero Oracle, and we'll take that one out eventually, as another hero Oracle going to be getting created here. Kvoth has to retreat that Oracle, and now the Cyclops can start to think about taking down these citizens over here. Kvoth actually forgetting to build himself a manor on this position, but he will be able to retreat back into his base, and no real problems with that. Jump onto these Rhinoceros until he's in a better position here. The Oracle over here scouting out these villages on the food, but not going to be seeing the town center just yet. Watchtowers coming through for Kvoth. Kvoth might want to actually cancel that here. You might want to cancel the watchtowers, having seen 2 town centers come through for Yoshii. This is 100% a bait, as the towers does come through, and Yoshii's going to be having an incredibly happy, fun time here, not having to do anything. He's got the 2 town center advantage. His opponent is not making any units just yet, and essentially Yoshii is forcing Kvoth into a playstyle at which either A, Kvoth's not very used to, or B, more than likely, Gaia's not very good at. And that playstyle is 1 town center against 2 town center kind of playstyle. He's forced into it. He's going to have to get some good raids off. He's going to have to hit very strong timings here to find some sort of a advantage in this game, as we do see Yoshii has found double elephants over here. Got to be careful not to lose any villagers to said elephant, as he does micro this one nicely over here, and he has managed to get that up, as the wall going to be attempting to finish on this location here. The Murmillo turning around, going to start slicing and dicing these units here, as Yoshii has to figure out how he's going to defend his food. He does have a lot of food left in his main base. Got the Orok here as well. And has he started any military buildings? It doesn't look like he has. This is a little bit greedy here from Yoshii. I'm not sure what his plan was. It doesn't make sense to me. Like, he basically forced Kvoth into 1 town center here, and now he's going for a fast heroic of some variety. He doesn't have any buildings. Yep, no buildings. Just happily eating the food. I mean, if he can get heroic age here, and this is a big if he can get heroic age, he gets the curse, and he can do what he wants with that. So we do see Kvoth grabbing the forward town center now, and there can be a 3 town center grab here from Kvoth as well to kind of catch up economically and see how he's going to do. So we do see the Pegasus is out for Yoshii. We don't get to see this very often. Pegasus is a 50 food, 2 favor scout that flies. It's really, really strong. It does cost 2 population, but you can always delete it later in the game. And it's not it's not that big of an investment at all, and you get to see the entirety of the map. So really smart play here from Yoshii to be using that. Something that I would have expected we would see a lot more from Greek players, especially after the kind of sudden rise to S-tierdom that Odin has had. So yes, villagers still coming out, and Yoshii is still not built a single military unit outside of his heroes in this game. As Kvoth searching for something to do here, we just see the Pegasus has spotted the town center, and Yoshii's going to be, well, you're getting in the town center now. I'm completely fine with that. I'm going to sit at my home base. He's got himself watchtowers, throwing down the armory. So in hindsight, not really that much of a surprise here. The problem here for Kvoth is he missed these elephant. Gaia's scouting, not so good here. He does see his own elephant potentially, so he should realize that your opponent's got elephant. The competitive nature of competitive Mega Random is that if you scout yourself with 4 rhinoceros, that means that your opponent has got 4 rhinoceros. You just have to find them. If you scout your opponent with... If you scout a gold mine, you know your opponent's got that many gold mines. So if you scout half the map, you know exactly what is on the other half of the map in a way. That too is true with the original maps. So don't get it wrong. That's not a feature of this, a unique feature of this map. It is simply just a feature of competitive maps in general. So Yoshi's going to be very happy having eaten all of that food, and he's going Aphrodite now. He's got a lot of villagers on this gold. I wouldn't actually be surprised to see Yoshii actually thinking about going for the mythic age behind this. He's actually throwing up double military academy, going to be looking to make some Hypaspist here, it would seem, as the walls getting taken down on this location. Kvoth's like, yes, I found his hunts. No, there's no villagers left. Funnily enough, Yoshii probably didn't even need the walls here. It's just a waste of gold. As Kvoth gets in here and he goes, no. Archery ranges getting dropped down as well for Yoshii. Bit surprised to see archery ranges. If you've listened to any of my theory about Toxotes in general, you only want to build archery ranges if you only really want to build Toxotes if you are planning on. So you do see a bit of a raid over here. You only really want to build Toxotes if you're planning on using him in the classical age or the heroic age. If you're planning on going for a fast-ish mythic age, better, or even not building Toxotes at all, you're better off just going straight for Heliopoli, because Heliopoli are just straight better than Toxotes on nearly every account. And if you couple them with infantry units that have going to use those extra resources you haven't wasted on line upgrades for archers, then you can find yourself having huge advantages where that's concerned. As the villagers going to have to retreat back here as Kvoth pushing through. That Lemurian lion gets absolutely diced there by the automatons, who've got a huge bonus against them, and Yoshi's going to have to retreat back. Yoshii does have a little bit of gold left in this location here. He's got his Terma over here on this gold mine. There is a gold mine over here which Yoshii might be able to sneak with a fortress or something like that. I'm sure that's what he's wanting to do. So he's trying to throw a fortress up to the top side of the map there. But now, yes, Yoshii is going to be having to fight it out in the heroic age, so those Toxotes are going to become somewhat useful here. As another Nemean lion does get created for Yoshii. He's going to be a little bit sad having lost one of those there. As meanwhile, we've got a forward palace getting dropped here by Kvoth. He's very, very consistent and good about doing this, throwing down palace and getting good value where that's concerned. But having all the Hypaspist out right now, this army composition hard counters basically what Kvoth's got here. But with the palace there, it looks like not really going to be an option to really fight that one there. As now we're going to start seeing Contarius coming through. Very smart here from Kvoth. Hypaspist, very good against infantry, not very good against cavalry. Not very good against cavalry. As the automatons getting repaired up here. And we continue to see what's happening. We've got the villagers already over in the corner here eating their elephant. Does that mean that there's another elephant somewhere on the map? It says elephant at the top. I don't know. Double Nemean lion out here is now Yoshii going to be making a big push here onto this palace, getting out these villagers to try and take this location down. Very smart to be doing that. Not only that, making some Peltas to deal with those Terma. We very rarely get to see Peltas, but this is one of the few situations that this might actually be a really smart idea to deal with the incoming Arcus here. And as the palace getting taken down, it's going to be huge. But Atlas 50% of the way through. If Kvoth can hold on to this location for long enough, he's going to be able to implode this and really have a good time where that's concerned. But the army of Kvoth gets absolutely melted here as Yoshii manages to push in and take this palace down. The citizen going to be retreating away from here. But Kvoth is not done here. Going to the Mythic Age, big deal here. I wouldn't be surprised to see that third town center getting grabbed fairly soon for Kvoth, as Yoshii has still got himself 11 villagers here looking for a gold mine. Meanwhile, on this gold mine over here, happily mining it, mind you. Yoshii has to figure out what to do next. He's dealt with the army, he's dealt with the Ford Palace, but Kvoth hitting the Mythic Age here, it's going to be a real big problem. We do see the Spider Lair getting a little bit of value here as the Implode does get dropped onto this location. Going to try and break away here. It looks like he will be able to bring the vast majority of his units. No. Oh, he gets very unlucky there. The implode pulls in a ton of those units as Yoshii drops down to 115 population here and has to retreat back into this corner. Good thing for Yoshii, though, is Kvoth doesn't have a palace, which means no immediate fanatic are going to be getting built. Kvoth does have a lot of resources, though, in the bank, as we do see these villages have moved forward as they're potentially going to try and sneak this town center in the middle of the map here. We'll see if they're going to be able to get onto it. Normally, Kvoth would have buildings on this by now, but it seems like he's kind of letting the ball drop where that's concerned, as we see a handful of militia going to be scouting around the side of the map as well. And Titan Shield Masons coming through for Kvoth. Obviously, very, very aware that potential earthquakes come through and can cause a lot of issues for him. So just going to be nice and safe. Getting himself those upgrades. So we do see the villagers here for Yoshii going to be sneaking through, potentially trying to get onto this town center, but it does look like they are simply just going to be shanking down the town center to deny it, as this town center here going to get denied as well. Funnily enough, a very, very strong usage of the, or strong exploitation of the Atlantean weakness, which is, well, villages cost 1 population and do a lot of damage. So the village is going to be able to deny this town center for the time being, shanking away at the citizen here as well. Meanwhile, the army coming through for Kvoth, he doesn't quite have enough to deal with this, especially with those Nemean lines that are going to get in onto this, doing the splash damage that they do as the units retreating away, take a lot of damage on the back there. Meanwhile, town center gets denied. Kvoth hard stuck here at 130 of 130 population, not being allowed to get any more. Fortified town centers, however, will be coming through for Kvoth, as Yoshii thinking about, should he grab this town center? Should he not? Villagers retreating away. The Pegasus going to be sitting still on that location there. We see the Argus getting taken down. The army fighting here as well. The Peltas need to get targeting down those Arcus as best as they possibly can. It's funny. Against the, funnily enough, against the Arcus Destroyer combination, the Peltas are actually strictly just better than Toxotes. It's one of the very few matchups or army compositions where there's no real purpose for Toxotes. So there you go. Make Peltas against against Atlantean. Makes sense. The Argus, though, looking after killing those Nemean lines, as the town center going to attempt to come up, an economic guild attempting to come down as well. Yoshii still lots of resources in the bank, retreating away from that Argus to try and stay alive there, as the Atlanta going to come in, try and clean this Argus up. We've got the Hippolyta getting some good damage done. The Atlanta will be able to deal with this one. Unfortunately for Yoshii, not able to get the town center up because of this military barracks that has come down here, but we will be seeing a fortress coming in here nonetheless to try and secure this town center. We've got the villagers coming back over here to try and deny this town center even longer, as Yoshii is slowly getting closer and closer to the Mythic Age, taking good fights thus far. So too is Kvoth technically taking good fights, but Kvoth's economy is starting to wane as he's only on 2 town centers. He hasn't been able to get to that full villager amount, which is 25, and hasn't even started his trade route, which he normally would have started by now. So this play here from Yoshii is incredibly good. Both the military academy and stables have been denied here by the economic guild. Lush spread there, but nonetheless, Yoshii getting pushed back and not able to push in just yet. The fortress just about up, so he will be able to use Petropolis to take down these buildings if he so chooses. And is that Mythic Age coming through now for Yoshii? Is that what we see there? No, he does not have the resources for it. Getting himself... he doesn't, I'm looking at the wrong person. Never mind. The Peltas still pushing forward. If my opponent's making Peltas, I would probably actually just hard stop Arcus, because why would I be building Arcus against counter units? But just make a whole bunch of farms and live the dream there. You see some hero Arcus getting trained there to try and snipe down those Nemean lines. The Peltas going after them as best as they can. Nice garrison there from Kvoth to try and keep those alive. Nice play there, as the town center does indeed get denied. A Petropolis has been queued up to deal with this military barracks, but it's not out just yet. A straight archery range getting dropped here for Yoshii. Yoshii is one of the best players at doing this extra stuff. The extra stuff is dropping military buildings down while the fighting is going on, getting sneaky unit raids in. As we see, the Petropolis is out, ready to take down that military barracks, putting on random pressure with villagers over here. It's all Yoshii. Is so good at it, and that's his deathmatch mentality. This is, if you guys are not aware, Yoshii, also known as Chesophilis, arguably one of the best, if not the best, deathmatch player of all time. Not only a good deathmatch player, a good supremacy player here as well, utilizing a lot of that deathmatch knowledge to his advantage here in this game. But as this is all going on, Kvoth getting a slight advantage back here as Yoshii's clicking up to Hephaestus. Irrigation coming through as well. More buildings getting thrown down here. You see the Atlanta trying to juke around here, dodging those Arcus arrows here as the Peltas getting some good damage there onto those Arcus themselves. The building here that Kvoth has thrown down to deny this town center has been deleted. So we do see a couple of units here now targeting down these citizens that are making a break for it, as Kvoth's gold situation right now is very, very dire. The units are continuously streaming in onto this position here. See the Petropolis getting taken out as the villagers going to try and get this town center up for themselves. More Nemean Lion coming through for Yoshii, and Hephaestus does pop there, and in that moment Kvoth decides the game is lost. He taps out. GG, no gold, no hope. And Kvoth says it very right. This is probably a Tartarian Gate situation. Most of the time, Gaia wants to be going through Atlas in this matchup, but this is one of those small situations where, unfortunately, there was no good value for the implode. Though, had Kvoth been a little bit more aggressive on the gold mines, he might have had a better time. Yeah, a very well played game here from Yoshii. I loved the fake Ares rush into a town center grab, into basically a fast heroic off of 2 town centers, dealing with what Kvoth was doing very, very nicely. And then more importantly than that, utilizing those extra villages that he'd got early to move forward, deny town centers in a way that is really not possible normally. Very nice play here from Yoshii. GG. If you guys enjoyed this game, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button. And I'll see you guys in the next game.